Welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at bun. Not, female buns, but the bun 1.0. It's a new thing and we're gonna read this article together, although I really don't fancy this is so wide. So is there a switch to dark mode? How can I change this to dark mode? Oh god, wait a second. Can I hack this? Hack class name here. Dark, maybe? There we go! See, this is why you learn web development, whatever. Now that we hacked, it's nice black. Although if I find a switch now for dark mode, I'm gonna lose my mind. Bun 1.0. Bun is a fast all-in-one toolkit running, building, testing, and debugging JavaScript to TypeScript from a single file to full-stack application today. Bun is stable and production ready. So this existed and I never heard of it. See, there's so many things now. You can't just know everything. At least this is stable. You can use it. So this is how you install. You can install it via npm. That's funny. So whatever, you just do that and you have Bun. Bun is all-in-one toolkit. We love JavaScript. It's mature, it moves fast, and the developer community is vibrant and passionate. It's awesome. However, since NodeJS debuted 14 years ago, layers and layers of tooling have accumulated on top of each other. And like any system that grows and evolves without centralized bunning, JavaScript tooling has become slow and complex. That's true. Have you ever built an npm package or installed whatever? It's gonna take forever. I mean, not forever, but it's gonna take some time, It's still better than programming huge scale projects when sometimes build can take like 3 hours or maybe a day. But hey, this is, let's see what they have to offer. And disclaimer, I never read this article, so reading it together. So why Bun exist? Bun's goal is simple: eliminate slowness and complexity without throwing away everything that's great about JavaScript. Your favorite libraries and frameworks should still work, and you shouldn't need to unlearn the conventions you're familiar with. That's great. They must be doing that, because no one is ever going to, who's coding in JavaScript we don't want new things. No, thank you. We are old folk. We don't want any new stuff. You will, however, need to unlearn the many tools that Bun makes unnecessary. Wow, that's good news. NodeJS. What? Bun is a drop-in replacement for NodeJS, so you don't need Node, NPX, Nodemon. What? How? So we don't need Node. It's somehow bundled into it? It either includes Node.js somehow inside of it, or it's a completely new approach and it's like a new type of Node.js. I don't know. I haven't read about it. You tell me in the comments. Tell me now in the comment section below how that works. I will read it. I promise you. Now, let's move on. Transpilers. We don't need the transpilers. Oh my god, that's so great. Are you telling me that TSC, but you can keep it for type checking, that I want, but all the Babel and the TS node and the TSX and whatever, I don't need them? Are you saying that Bun has these like built into it? That's great. Well, I'm curious how effective is that, but we'll find out. Bundlers, Webpack. Oh my god, I'm just reworking one of my tools to use Webpack. This is a story. I made like my own like bundler stuff for this very project, because the compatibility was very important, Many people installed it. I wanted to have it very compatible, so just merges files and does whatever. And now I'm trying to rework it to Webpack, and it's a pain, and it's painful, and it's very painful to set up the environments and whatever scopes and it's a pain. And if you tell me that there is like something in this thing that replaces these like Webpacks and all that, I'm gonna be very happy, because you can like learn this. I mean, basically switch to this and it stays as is, and you just don't need to use plus modules, and that means there is no deprecation. I mean, less deprecation, because if Webpack or some of these modules just goes away, you need to find a replacement. But if these are already built in and this is what we want, and when Node.js started, we didn't know we wanted these, so they just evolved as modules and never made it into the node itself. I mean, I think this is then an absolutely marvelous solution. But let's see. Bun is an npm compatible package manager with familiar commands. It reads your package JSON, writes Node modules just like other package. So it does use Node, I think, but still, in the comments, down you go into the comments. But it does include like an npm like package manager in itself, so you don't need to separately. That's great. That's great. Testing libraries. Well, it's just compiler test run which support snapshot testing, mocking, and code coverage. So you no longer need just TS-test, Babel, just whatever. Okay. While these tools are good on their own, right, mostly using them all together creates fragility in a slow developer experience. They perform a lot redundant work. When just run jest, your code will be parsed 3 times the various tools and deducted blah blah blah. Bun is a single integrated toolkit that avoids these integration problems. Each tool in this toolkit provides best-in-class developer experience from performance to API design. I mean, you'll have to see this. I'm not testing that much because, you know, as I said previously in my videos, testing is for puppies. We write perfect code. So, but of course that's a joke. You gotta test, you know, sometimes. But don't tell anyone. Bun is a JavaScript runtime. Bun is a fast JavaScript runtime. Its goal is to make the experience of building software faster, less frustrating, and more fun. Okay, so it's a runtime, just like Node. NodeJS compatible. Bun is a drop-in replacement for NodeJS. That means existing NodeJS applications and MPA packages just work in Bun. Bun has built-in support for Node API, including the path and net and their name process, whatever, and the resolution algorithm into Node modules. Okay, so it's something hybrid. Maybe it includes like a Node, whatever version, whatever. It can parse Node, but it's also standalone. Maybe. While perfect compatibility with Node.js isn't possible, looking at the Node V8 Bun can really virtual Node application in the wild. That's great. That's great, although I think we need to be careful with that. Bun is tested against test suites of the most popular Node.js packages and serverless frameworks like Express, Koa, or Node.js work, as do applications built using the most popular full-stack frameworks. Collectively, these libraries and frameworks touch every part of Node.js API surface that matters. Okay, speed. So this is the main selling point. Bun is fast, starting up to 4 times faster than Node.js. This difference is only magnified when running a TypeScript file, which requires transpilation before it can run. All right. So as you all know, if you don't know, TypeScript is basically transpiled into JavaScript. TypeScript is a layer above JavaScript. It makes basically JavaScript strongly typed. That's all it does, and it does really well. So, but therefore, because it transpiles into JavaScript, it needs to be transpiled on the fly, so you can run it in your browser or server application, wherever you want to run it. So what ES-build TS6 can do in 350, 120, 40, it can do in 8 milliseconds. So that's like at least 4 times faster. Unlike Node.js and other runtimes that are built using Google's V8 engine, Bun is built using Apple's WebKit engine. Aha, so here comes the explanation. WebKit is the engine that powers Safari and used by billions of devices every day. It's fast, efficient, and has been battle tested for decades. I'm not sure if I fancy the Apple WebKit engine, you know. I mean, I don't wanna make correlations with the Safari browser, but I kind of hate it. I'm sorry to say, I'm not a Mac user for now. The reason I hate Safari is because you make something work and look good on Chrome, on whatever Edge, Firefox and Opera and whatever, and just open it in Safari and it's not working because somehow renders something differently and it just doesn't work. And I'm to this day suffering to do some things in Safari which are working in every single other browser. So, but I think that has nothing to do with the Apple WebKit engine in itself, because this is a little bit different story. TypeScript and JSX support. Bun has a JavaScript transpile that's baked into the runtime. That means you can run JavaScript, TypeScript, and even JSX, TSX files, no dependencies needed. Oh my god, that's huge. Now that's huge. So you know TypeScript transpiles into JavaScript. Also JSX, TSX, that's for React and all the derivatives of React. So those are also transpiled back into JavaScript eventually. So JSX is JavaScript written in that and it goes back to JavaScript. TSX is also going back to JavaScript. So you can just run it immediately. No need to transpile it back. This you can do with Node. You just can't. So what's next? Okay, so transition from CommonJS to ES modules has been slow and full of terrors. Yes, that's true. After ESM was introduced, NodeJS took 5 reads before supporting without an experimental modules flag. Regardless, the ecosystem is still full of CommonJS. Bun supports module systems all the time. No need to worry about file extensions, JS versus CGS versus MJS, or including type module in your package JSON. You can even use import and require in the same file. I'm not a Node developer, but I know you can do this. So if you do this, you will get an error that you should either do one or the other. You have to decide, and this is the CommonJS version, and this is the ES version where you import. Right now, people are leaning towards this. This is a newer version, like it's more modular. But so this is the old version, the CommonJS version. If you are able to do this, that's going to save a lot of pain. Although I don't know, when we are switching from older coding standards to new ones, maybe you shouldn't be mixing them like that. But still, if you like accidentally do one or the other, or there is for some reason you can't use a module one way or the other, this is going to solve it. This is huge, but I don't know. It's better to use one or the other. Probably the first one. Web APIs. Bun has built-in support for the web standard API that available bars as a fetch request. So you can do that in Node.js. I'm not an expert, but I think you can't. You're not gonna need a package as node fetch. See, you need node fetch. I recall. I did here and there something and I don't remember, I just tend to forget. But this is great. This is wonderful. This is how it should work, I think. Once you have that, why don't Node work with it? There's no reason for not to. And they simply took these weaknesses and they just said, yeah, Bun is gonna be able to do it. Hot reloading. Now that's something. Bun makes it easier for you to be productive as a developer. You can run Bun with hot enabled for hot reloading, which reloads your application while the files change. So you could do that with like NodeMon there were different ways to do that on the front end with Webpack and whatever. But this is huge. This is huge. I think this is to replace NodeMon. Here we go. Unlike tools that hard restart the interpreter of NodeMon, Bun reloads your code without terminating the old process. What? That means HTTP WebSocket connections don't disconnect and state isn't lost. Does it actually? Oh wow. If that's the case, then this is probably the biggest thing so far. Plugins. Bun is designed to be highly customized. You can define plugins, interprets more, and performs custom loading logic and support additional files as a jump. So okay, you can create plugins. Fine. Bun API. Bun should slightly optimize standard library APIs for the things you need most as a developer. In contrast to Node.js API, which exits backwards compatibility, these Bun native APIs are designed to be fast and easy to use. Lazy load the file in a particular path. Okay, but that's an await. Yeah, that's an await if it's lazy. Returns a Bun file which extends the web standards file. The file contents can be lazy loaded in various formats. Okay, so you can do whatever. You can do write, you can do serve, spin up an HTTP server. Okay, TLS, you can do TLS. That's fantastic, and look how easy this looks. This is just awesome. WebSockets, okay. SQLite. Bun has built-in support for SQLite. This is the API that inspired better Spider, but it's written native code to be faster. See, this is what you need in web development. These are the most common things you want. These are the most common things. SQLite, I'm sorry to say, but sometimes you need database, even though it may be just for testing, but you need it. This is a lot of times you need that. Very nice. Look at that. It looks so easy. Password. If complex things you don't want to implement yourself. To hash verify script. Oh my god. Again, something very common you don't want to use libraries for. It's better to have it in the core. So it's not something you have to worry about because you have it in the core application. Very good. Bun is a package manager, so you can also use it as like in the NPM syntax. Even if you don't use Bun as a runtime, built-in package manager can speed up your development workflow. Gone are the days for starting at an NPM spinner as your dependencies install. Bun may look like a package manager as used to, so it's the same. Okay, it's ridiculously fast. Okay, orders of magnitude faster, orders of magnitude. Oh my god. See, there you go. 10 seconds, 12, 6, 7, and 0.3. Okay, benchmark bar install the dependencies from a starter Remix project. I don't get it how it's that faster, but I take their word for it, okay? It will eventually be benchmark, okay? So we will see. Running scripts. Chances are you haven't run script like with Node in a while. Instead, we often use our package managers to interface with the framework CLIs. Yeah. So see, this is a lot of time. npm run that. This is how you do it. You don't really use Node. You use this because you have 5 million packages already, and you need to use this. You can replace npm run bm run to save 150 milliseconds every time you run a command. Okay, so it's faster. That may seem small, but when you're running CLIs, the perpetual difference is huge. Running npm run is noticeably laggy. So here's the example. It says it's much faster. Okay, it feels instantaneous. Well, okay, that's true. So really, they're really selling about the speed. Bun is a test runner, so you can do tests. If you written test injectors, you're probably familiar with Jest. Okay, alright, so we do test and whatever. So we don't care about test, you know. We are not testing, we're just developing perfect applications. Here, Bun is a bundler. Now this is interesting. This is something I want to know about. That's a JavaScript TypeScript bundler, and we find that can be used to bundle code for the browser. So you specify the input file and the directory, entry points, whatever. Okay, it's heavily inspired with ESBuild and provides compatible plugin API. That's perfect. Bundling is universal and it works for bundler and runtime. So you jam blah 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 blah. Using ESBuild's own benchmark, Bun is 1.75 times faster than ESBuild, 150 times faster than Parcel 2, 180 times faster than Rollup Tensor, and 20 times Webpack. Well, so yeah. So here I'm using in one of my projects, I want to rewrite it into Webpack, and here comes Bun. Once I'm almost done with it, and they just, you know what? Why don't you look at this? And the amount of configuration I have there, I don't know how easy it is going to be to move it to, because I'm only using Node in that instance to bundle my files. It's not running on Node. Yeah, this could be interesting. Maybe sometime. This could be a game changer even for me, who is not really coding in Node. Since Bun's runtime and bundle are integrated, means Bun can do things and no other bundle can do. Bun introduces JavaScript macros, mechanisms for running JavaScript functions and bundle time. The value written from these functions are directly inline into your bundle. Get release from release is one type macro. Await. The value of release is evaluated at bundle time and inline into the bundle, not runtime. Okay, so he evaluates the code, gets the response from this and puts it into a variable, while other bundlers will just basically copy this code. But what if this is important information? You know, what if I need this to change? What if I'm doing this await to get an ever-changing value? And if you bundle it like this, well, I don't know. Oh wait, this is not await, this is await. What's this? This is the imperative for building JavaScript, and we're excited to see what you build with it. What's this? Can I run this code? What's gonna happen? Oh, it's just as if I said equals. But what's gonna happen with this? Why not? Isn't this the same if I just said release equals this? Someone help me out in the comment section below, because I don't understand. I mean, if I understand this correctly, they just wait for the response and just bundle it into it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's not a good idea. I'm sure it's something you can turn off, but I don't know. I mean, what if this goes into a server, or what if this changes? If you bundle it here, then there's gonna be an oopsie. I'm sure they thought of that. I'm sure. I need explanation on the await keyword here. What's the okay? So when you put the await here, then you get is it a promise? No, it's not a promise type of release. It's a string. It's not a promise. It has nothing to do with that. I don't understand. Someone should explain. Bun provides native builds for macOS, but there's been notable absence Windows previously. To run Bun on Windows, you will need to install Windows subsystem for Linux, but not anymore. But first, the extra release experiment on native build for Bun for Windows. Okay, that's just nice. There is an exe file. Windows build is highly experimental, so for most of the time, people use virtual machines to develop, so this shouldn't be an issue. What's next? We are developing a way to deploy JavaScript in production. We are having low-level system engineers. Okay, this sounds really cool. I love it. I love it. I love almost every single bit of it. It's if they deliver all of this here, which they promised, if this all works, as it's written here, then this is big. This is really big. This is really big, and they are very much selling on speed, which is a great thing. But I see like a much more benefits for a full stack developer or web developer that you have. It's all in one. You have the bundler, you have the transpiler, you have the whatever. It's the runtime. So you have basically everything. Everything is bundled into one package, and it sounds great. And the greatest thing about all of this that they have to maintain this in the core level, so they don't rely on third-party modules. Everything is in there, and if everything is in there, that gives you that sense of safety that your code is going to be robust and doesn't gonna like break because of an update. You know, back in the time when I started as a web developer, we didn't have all of these modular things. I still prefer writing most of my code myself. I know that that's probably not the best way from the perspective of effectiveness, but from the perspective of reliability, I know what I did. I know if I made an error, I can just I will just correct it. If you use a lot of modules and there was an update and something just broke, and then you have to look at the version number, and maybe there was something huge, and it's just it almost takes more time to maintain than to actually do your project. And if you just accidentally do something or something breaks, your whole project goes down the pooper. So I always recommend using the least amount of possible modules as you can, especially for some stupid little functions like make the string from something. You can do it, you can write it. You should be able to write it. If you can't write it, just Google it. It takes 5 seconds. You don't need to import something from somewhere. Why? Just Google it. It's gonna be easier. They took everything from the Node ecosystem, evaluated what are the best things, and we're just gonna put it in this one thing, and everything is gonna be in the core. With the most important things are gonna be in the core, and I think I like it. Although I need to test it to prove, but if I take their word, this is awesome. This is surely something. This might be the future. Maybe not the bun, but something similar. I wish them the very best. I hope this system takes off, and hope it's gonna be very easy to use. This is the end of the video, so don't forget to like, subscribe, whatever, comment. I had some questions. If you watch the video, please help me out. Please help me out. I'm dumb. I don't understand things. Just write it in the comments. It's gonna be a great help for this poor man. Thanks again for watching, and have a nice one. Bye.